Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a seriously fantastic story called The Secret Door in the School Library. And beyond just being a really fun mystery, this narrative reveals the immense value of unexpected friendship and honestly, the sheer transformative power of reading. So let's just dive right in. Have you ever found a hidden secret at your school? I want you to genuinely think about that for a second. Imagine wandering through the familiar, everyday halls of your own school. A place you think you know perfectly, and suddenly stumbling upon something entirely unknown and magical. Well, that is exactly the premise for our protagonist today. We're following a 10-year-old boy named Max. Now, Max is a kid who loves books more than anything else in the entire world, and his natural curiosity is about to kick off an incredible journey that we can all learn a little something from. All right, let's begin our journey with Chapter 1, The Secret Library Door. So, the story starts on a sunny morning. Max is doing what he loves most, which is searching for a brand new adventure story in his school library. But while he's scanning the shelves, he notices this tiny golden handle tucked away behind a dusty, completely forgotten bookshelf. Naturally curious, Max gives it a pull. With a loud click, a secret door slowly opens. And guys, he doesn't just find a bunch of old cleaning supplies. He steps into this breathtaking, magical room. We're talking shelves filled with literally glowing books, ancient maps just floating and hovering in the air, and a ceiling completely covered in sparkling stars. It's a total visual feast that instantly sparks the imagination, setting the absolute perfect stage for the adventure that's about to unfold. Right smack in the middle of this magnificent room, Max meets a very important character. Meet Oliver the Owl. But Oliver isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill bird. He's this small, highly intelligent-looking owl, and he's wearing glasses. He flies directly toward Max with a huge sense of urgency. Oliver lands and immediately says, "Welcome, Max. My name is Oliver. We need your help." And here's where Oliver delivers some pretty devastating news. The Book of Imagination, which is the magical source of all children's dreams and creations, has completely disappeared. So the stakes are instantly sky high. Oliver explains that without this book, children everywhere will simply stop dreaming and creating. Max knows right then and there, no hesitation, that he has to step up and help rescue it. To find the book, they have to face 3 distinct trials. This brings us to Challenge 1, the Forest of Riddles. As they navigate this magical forest, their path is totally blocked by a rather unusual obstacle. It's a giant, talking tree, and it absolutely refuses to let them pass without solving a puzzle. Listen closely to this. What gets bigger the more you take away from it? I'm actually going to pause for just a second right here. How would you answer this? What gets bigger the more you take away from it? It's a classic test of logic, and Max has to figure it out right there on the spot. Did you guess it? The answer is a hole. Max didn't panic. He thought carefully, applied his logic, and answered correctly. By using his intellect, the talking tree is satisfied and finally allows the path forward to open. This brilliantly illustrates our first real key takeaway: the sheer power of thinking carefully and keeping a cool head whenever you're faced with a sudden obstacle. But the trials are far from over. Let's move on to the second challenge, the River of Courage. A giant, rushing river now stands before Max and Oliver, completely blocking their way. There's no bridge, and there are absolutely no boats in sight. Oliver turns to Max and gives him a very simple, yet incredibly profound piece of advice. He says, "You must believe in yourself." So Max takes a deep breath to center himself, and he bravely steps forward right into the unknown water. And to his immense surprise, the exact moment he makes that brave decision and takes that leap of faith, glowing stones magically appear right beneath his feet. By finding his courage and taking that very first scary step, he is able to safely walk right across the rushing water. Having proven his intellect and his courage, Max now faces the third and final challenge. We arrive at the Cave of Kindness. Max enters a dark, gloomy cave and finds a creature that typically symbolizes extreme danger in these types of stories: a dragon. And not just any dragon, but one that everyone in this magical realm is normally terrified of. But there's a really powerful contrast happening here. On the outside, sure, the dragon looks giant, dark, and super scary, but the reality of how the dragon actually feels is very different. He's lonely, totally misunderstood, and in desperate need of a friend. Now, instead of running away from that scary exterior, like most people probably would, Max demonstrates profound empathy. He just approaches the beast, smiles, and simply asks, "Hello, are you okay?" The dragon just sighs and gives this incredibly heartbreaking reply: "No one ever talks to me." Max doesn't pull out a sword and fight the dragon. He simply sits down and spends time really listening to him. And guess what? That is exactly how you pass the final test. By showing genuine kindness and lending an ear to someone who is misunderstood, the dragon finally smiles. Deeply touched by Max's willingness to just be a friend, the dragon reveals the hidden book of imagination, telling Max he has officially passed the final test. With the precious book finally secured, we reach the triumphant climax of our explainer today, the magic of imagination. Max and Oliver are instantly transported right back to the magical library. The moment the rescued book is returned to its rightful place, it begins to glow with this incredible, undeniable power. Vibrant, colorful lights completely fill the room, illuminating absolutely everything. Oliver the Owl turns to our hero and says, "Thank you, Max. You saved imagination." Because of Max's actions, children everywhere are going to continue having the ability to dream and create. It's a beautiful, visually wondrous moment of absolute victory. But then, right at the height of this huge victory, something completely unexpected happens. Suddenly, whoosh! Just like that, Max finds himself standing right back in his normal, everyday school library. The glowing books, the floating maps, and Oliver the Owl are entirely gone. It leads Max, and us as the audience, to wonder, had this entire incredible adventure literally just been a dream? Well, before we answer that, let's take a look at Max's actual keys to success. Step 1, thinking carefully to solve riddles. Step 2, believing in himself to find true courage. And Step 3, listening to others to show genuine kindness. The absolutely crucial point I want you to take away from this is this. Max didn't use a magic wand or some crazy superpowers to save the day. He used real-world life skills. You don't need literal magic to be a hero. You really just need intellect, bravery, and empathy. And those are tools that every single one of us has access to. Which brings us to our lingering, wonderful question. Was it just a dream? Or is magic actually real? Just as Max is standing there in his normal library, really questioning if he imagined the whole thing, he looks down and notices something resting right there on the floor. A single golden feather. Max just smiles, realizing it was real after all. The source text tells us that from that day on, Max never stopped reading, dreaming, and believing in magic. And I want to leave you with that provocative thought today. Apply Max's real-world skills to your own life. Step bravely into the unknown, show kindness to the misunderstood, and above all, never ever lose that sense of wonder.